How 1,825 days of sobriety led me to this life-changing system to quit alcohol without Alcoholics Anonymous or Rehab. Hello, my name is Sammy, and in the last 5 years, I have been quitting 5 different addictions. Addictions like alcohol and drug addiction, benzodiazepine addiction, cigarette addiction, porn addiction, and sugar addiction. And nowadays, I'm free from all of those addictions, and now I help others to do the same with alcohol. And this system will help any individual to quit alcohol without rehab or Alcoholics Anonymous. So let's explore this system. So think about what is the most common thing that people try to get when they start to do something new. And I would say that the first thing what people try to get is the best techniques, the best methods, the hacks, or the best advices. But I would say that the best systems are not made from those things. There has to come something before those things. And it's about having really strong foundations. And best systems are the systems that are tailored for your individual needs. So the first step is self-knowledge. It's about understanding your own drinking profile. Are you social drinker? Are you weekend drinker? Or are you stressful drinker? Or have you alcohol addiction? So there are different solutions for different problems. So first you have to understand and identify what is really the problem behind your drinking. I would say that social drinker, stressful drinker, and weekend drinker, they are kind of the same problem because all of those different profiles are about psychological dependence. You think that when you drink, you are better socializer, or when you drink, you are you can have fun on the weekends, or you think that alcohol reduces your stress. So in those three profiles, it's about learning to talk talk yourself out from these limiting beliefs that creates the drinking, and creating new rituals, learning to cope stress with the different habits, learning to keep fun on the weekends without alcohol, and learning to socialize without alcohol. Then the last profile is alcohol addiction. This is a little bit deeper problem, but if you know what you are looking for and what you are doing, then it's not hard to solve. So alcohol addiction is all about that you use alcohol to escape from your reality. In addiction, the problem is not usually the substance or the behavior, but it's more about what the substance or behavior gives you. And usually it fulfills some psychological need that you lack normally. And usually trauma is the reason for this lack of psychological need. So in this case, you have to be very clear and understand what life event created the trauma that created the addiction, and then build really strong systems and an environment where trauma can heal. So that's basically the first step, understanding your drinking profile. Then you can design your sobriety in a way that it fits particularly your drinking profile. And you understand very clearly what is your problem. Then comes the 4 tendencies. So the four tendencies is personality framework, and it's about how people respond to expectations. So there is inner and outer expectations. Outer expectations are things like hitting deadline in the work, and inner expectation is like New Year resolutions. And also quitting alcohol is inner expectations. And there is four different tendencies: upholders, questioners, obligers, and rebels. And when you know your own tendency, you know how to motivate yourself. And when you know how to motivate yourself, it's a big thing to have in life. And when you know how to motivate yourself, you know how you will take action. Because if you haven't yet been make a decision to quit alcohol, it can be a reason that you don't simply know how to motivate yourself. So upholders are people who are very disciplined, and they are very routine oriented, and they basically like to put things on their to-do list and their schedules, and then they just like to do those things on their to-do list. So upholders are motivated by setting very clear goals and having things on their schedules. So if they want to quit alcohol, I recommend to set very clear goal that, for example, being 30 days without alcohol, and then putting things on their schedule that gets them away drinking, and things that supports their sobriety. And then comes questioners. So questioners questions every expectations. They only respond to inner expectation if they find a big enough reason to do it. So they are motivated by logic, fairness, and reason. So if questioners want to quit alcohol, they have to find a reason to do it and really big justification of do it. Their biggest question of life is to ask why. When they find their why, they will be disciplined like upholders. And then comes obligers. Obligers respond only outer expectations. So they're motivated by accountability. Their biggest mission is to find right model of accountability. When they found it, they will do it whatever they want in life. So it can be external accountability, joining a group, having accountability partner, hiring a coach, or joining a class, things like that. And then there can be accountability tools like having some app in life that reminds you about your to-do list. So if they want to quit alcohol, they have to have right accountability model. And then comes rebels. So rebels resist all expectations. They are motivated by choice and freedom. If you say rebel that I want you to do some particular thing, they usually going to do the opposite, because them freedom and their own choice is very important, and they are motivated by choice and freedom. So if rebels want to quit alcohol, it has to be their own choice, and they have to link quitting alcohol to freedom, that sobriety equals freedom, because it's really the truth that sobriety is freedom. So those was basically the four different tendencies, and when you know it, you know how to motivate yourself. and this is very essential. And this is not just help in sobriety, but in general in life. When you know your tendency, your life will get way better, easier, and you will become more happier. So if you want to know your tendency, I recommend to do the 4 tendencies online quiz. You can do it in under 10 minutes and it's really easy to do. I can put link in the description where you can do it. And if you want to know more about it, I recommend to read book which name is The 4 Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. So next thing is having the right mindset. So the mindset is the thing that makes techniques work, not other way around. And this is the second building block of having the strong foundations for your sobriety. It's really important to have strong mindset. So what I mean about strong mind is first aspect of this mindset is that you have to make sobriety fun. This is something fun and aspirational what you start to do. And you are not quitting something, but you're building a new life. It's a new chapter in your life. So that's the first aspect of winning mindset in sobriety. Then I have this concept of athlete of sobriety. So it basically means that you have to become really dedicated person and you have to approach sobriety in the same way than athletes approach their sport. And you basically start to act and have habits like an athlete. You start to study sobriety or addiction or whatever the problem is, and you start to take care of your physical, mental health, and do things like that. 10 relapses equals education. It's very common in these addiction circles that people think that relapse is the worst thing that can happen. But I would say that those things can be even beneficial. If you can analyze those situations and learn from something your relapses, then those things can be education. And you know, the success in sobriety is not measured in the amount of days, but it's more measured how much space you have to enjoy life without alcohol. So the days really doesn't matter, but what matters more is how much you have space to enjoy life without alcohol. And the biggest thing why relapses feel so bad and unmotivating is that people count their days and they think that they have to start over when they relapse. But learn to see relapses as stepping stones towards success. And that's the third aspect of the mindset of sobriety. And the last thing of this mindset is setting clear goals. Many people think that the goal of sobriety is the absence of alcohol. But let me tell you something. The goal of sobriety is not the absence of alcohol, but it's about building a new and great life. This is very important because it matters so much how you set your goals, because our brain works in a way that it will always try to find solutions to achieve our goals. So if you don't set right goals, you don't going to get right destination or your brain is not going to get right solutions. So have more like a positive goals, like building a great life where the automatic result is sobriety, or learn to enjoy life without alcohol, but don't have a goal to avoid some particular behavior. So 10 becomes the third building block. So it's your environment. Environment equals outcomes. You know, addiction is a result of your environment. Sobriety is a result of your environment. If you have an amazing life, it's a result of your environment. And basically, when you start to do something new or when you want to achieve something new, you just have to understand what environment causes those desired results. Because the environment is the cause in our life. And when I talk about environment, I mean your physical health, your mental environment, how you think, how you feel, what kind of attitudes you have towards life and yourself, and how you observe yourself. And then things like your habits and things like your relationships, your physical environment, where what kind of places you spend your time. And then those things basically makes outcomes in your life. So in this case, you just have to look your current environment, then start to remove things that supports addictions, and then start to add things that support your sobriety. Basically, when you start to just do right things in your life, you start to experience this state of sobriety, and sobriety start to become more naturally than something that you try to be. And I would say that it's very smart to mold your environment based on your drinking profile, because environment is basically the system how you solve these different problems. And also, I would say that the methods or techniques that can solve addiction or whatever your problem is part of your environment. So this can be like hiring a coach, hiring a therapist, or reading different books about these different problems. So that was basically the environment building block. Then comes replacement. So this quitting alcohol is not about quitting, but it's about replacing. There is a saying that an idle mind is a devil's workshop, and this is 100% true. When you don't bring anything new, when you quit alcohol, you're going to only think about alcohol. And when you think about alcohol, you will have more cravings and you will have to use more willpower to resist these cravings. So think about quitting alcohol as starting something new. It's a process of building something new. You have to bring new energy into your life. So it can be like starting a new habit, starting a new side hustle, starting a new hobby, or starting to improve your relationship, or building an amazing health. It has to be something that interests you, where you can put all this energy that went to the alcohol to, to something that you want to build. So that was basically the last building block. It's about replacing the habit something that you like to do. So 4 really simple steps: self-knowledge, mindset, environment, and replacement. And the bonus things that I would add to this thing is having strong connections in your life can be really beneficial in your sobriety. Making new relationships, accountability partner can be really good, and joining a community where is like-minded people, those can be like a really beneficial for your sobriety. But when you do these 4 steps and when you have these in your sobriety, you have really strong foundations for your sobriety. And when you just keep doing right things in a daily basis, you will break free from addiction and you will turn the addiction to passion. So that's basically how you can quit alcohol without Alcoholic Anonymous or rehab. So thank you for watching this video and bye bye.